Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to prep your skin for makeup to make you have a flawless base. And it's really simple, but it's all in the skin prep to have really good makeup. So if you're someone that gets really dry skin, or you just feel like your makeup separates and there's some stuff going on that you're like, I don't really know why this isn't working for me, it's probably your skin prep, and there's ways to fix that. So I'm going to walk through and show you some of my favorite products from different brands and different tiers of like pricing, stuff like that. First of all, I cleanse my skin in the morning, I cleanse my skin at night, and I'll even cleanse my skin again if I'm going to be doing makeup. You don't want any oils on the skin that can cause separation and just patchiness on the skin. So always cleanse. I recommend a pre-cleanse. I use the Dermalogica pre-cleanse, or let me grab it, the Korean one. This pulls out the oils from your skin, and it also just pulls out anything in your pores. Oil attracts oil, so it will pull any of the impurities out of your skin before you cleanse. Then you can go in with your cleanser of choice. For my cleansers currently, I just finished this one. I got a bunch of samples from Eminence, so they're all like mini sizes, but I just finished using the Clear Skin Probiotic Cleanser. I loved this. I will be purchasing it. And then, so since that one's out, I started using the Firm Skin Acai Cleanser. I love this one too. So any cleanser will do. Just start with a pre-cleanse always, and then a cleanser. So next step is exfoliating. And there is some light options you can do before you put on makeup, but I'm also going to show you some options that you can do in the morning time before you actually put the makeup on and start your routine. You don't want to use a strong exfoliant and then immediately put makeup on top of it. You want to give it some time. So here is some options of exfoliants that you can do right before you put on makeup, if that's really what you need to do. So this is a very gentle exfoliant from Dermalogica, the Daily Microfoliant. I almost say it's fluff. It is fluff because it's not really giving you like results long term. It has salicylic acid, so it is really good for people that have acne. But this is more so one that you can do right before makeup because it's really just going to get the dead skin off. It's not going to be doing anything too deep in the skin. It's a daily exfoliant, so it's light enough you could use it every single day. So what you do with this one is you just, I'm not going to dump it, but you just dump some in your hand, and it's like a rice powder, and you put a little water with it and it turns into a foam, and then you can rub your skin with it, and that just gives you like a nice glowy layer, kind of like how I have right now, right before you put on makeup. So if that's something you want to add to your routine, that's something you can do right before you put makeup on. Another thing that you can use right before you put makeup on to exfoliate is the Medicube Zero Pore Pads. I've literally used this down to nothing, but I have another box ready to go. But these you can use right before makeup too, and I also know some makeup artists that use this before they do someone's makeup, because we don't always have time as makeup artists to give you a full facial, obviously. So these do the job. Now, if you want to do a deeper exfoliant, which is what I do, I will do that in the morning, the day of that I know I have to do my makeup, and I'll use something a little bit stronger. So some options that I personally use that I don't really know if you can get, I think you can purchase these. I think you can purchase this one, but they're esthetician level products. This is the Barbados Cherry Superfood enzyme exfoliant, and it gets warm on your skin. It's not gonna peel you, but it's almost like a peel, and it'll just give you a nice glossy finish. I love this one. And then same with the Lactic Pro Peel. Lactic acid is the gentlest acid peel you can use, so I do like this one. I believe this one is available for anyone to purchase because lactic acid is very gentle. So you don't want to be going in the sun after using these because you're literally revealing fresh skin. So just plan properly if you're going to be using these. Like, don't use this type of stuff the day of if you're going to be like going to the beach or doing a beach look or going outside in the sun all day. Like, I wouldn't use these if you're going to be doing all that. But if you're doing like a nighttime glam and you want to get a nice glow, you can use this in the morning. Okay, Same with this. This is a little bit gentle, but it still tends to be a little bit stronger for some people. The glycolic acid. And if you want to use this, I recommend just starting maybe once or twice a week. But take a little pore pad or a little cotton pad and you can rub your face down with it. You can also use it on your armpits and around your bikini line. Fun fact, because it'll help lighten those areas. But yeah, this is really good to use if you want, like the morning of in your routine, if you want to do your makeup later. Just as a little bit of a glow, just to get that glow going, that boost of fresh skin underneath the makeup. I wouldn't use this right before your makeup. You can, I wouldn't, but because it is a little bit stronger than the first ones I showed you. So what my skin looks like right now, this is what I use today. So this is also The Ordinary. This is the peeling solution, the 30% AHA and 2% BHA. So this has a little bit of a kick to it. I know people that say it's a little too strong for them or it breaks them out. I would test this before you go and try to use this before a night out or something. Technically, I wouldn't even recommend doing this the same day as a makeup look, but I know my skin and my skin doesn't break out from doing this routine for myself. So test this out before you go and do it right away. But the breakouts can happen because it's revealing a fresh layer of skin. Your pores are going to be open. You know, if stuff's getting into the pores and you're acne prone, it could cause some breakouts. But I am not acne prone. I am oily, but this is my favorite, I would say. This is the one that I've repurchased like maybe 10 times. So, and I get spray tans, which you can kind of see a little bit is left around my hairline, but that's literally the line from where I applied this. Like, it got off all the rest of my spray tan. I'm ready for another one if I want to go for another one, but I'm also ready for a makeup look. Okay, so that was exfoliants. A very crucial part of making your makeup look good is making sure you're exfoliating properly. So now it comes to the moisturizers and the serums you want to use. Personally, I don't use a serum unless it's matching the moisturizer that I'm using, because that's when it starts to get a little bit weird with makeup. If you're doing too many layers of skincare before your makeup, yes, it could work with your moisturizer, but it may not work with your foundation. It may not work with your primer. And that's when you can start the pilling or the peeling look, like when your makeup starts to flake off. Not even flake, like, you know what I mean when you rub it and it's like that. So I tend to keep it light. And my light just died. So basically what I was saying was I prep using kind of a strategy based on what makeup I'm planning to use for my base. So I tend to use all Charlotte Tilbury makeup. I love Charlotte Tilbury makeup. Everything I use is Charlotte Tilbury, so I will tend to use Charlotte Tilbury products to prep my skin. So only when I'm using Charlotte Tilbury, I will use the Magic Cream. And I've purchased this probably, I don't even know how many times now. She's good when you're using Charlotte Tilbury. I haven't tried her with other brands. So Charlotte Tilbury makeup, Charlotte Tilbury moisturizer. I also like the Magic Serum. So if I'm going to do a serum, if I want to do a dewier look, I'll do the Magic Serum, and then I'll do the Magic Cream, and then I'll go in with YSL Blurring Primer. I use her with every single makeup look because I have oily skin. So if you can see, I don't know if you really can, but I have pores that are pretty big. And there's nothing wrong with having big pores. That is completely normal. It's just that sometimes my makeup will show the pores a little bigger. So I like to blur them. If you can see your pores, you most likely have oily skin. So this is a good one that I like to use for oily skin. And so in step layers, I will apply Magic Serum, Magic Cream, and then I'll let that kind of marinate a little bit, and then I'll put on the blurring primer. I also like the Vanish primer. So depending on my makeup, I don't really have a strategy picking one or the other. It's just what I'm feeling that day, because they both do the same exact thing. The Vanish Hourglass primer or the YSL primer. These are my two. So I will go back and forth between the two of those. Moving on to the base of the makeup. So once that is kind of marinated into my skin, I will go in with my either one of two products. First of all, I have to say, Charlotte Tilbury, your logo always comes off this damn bottle, but it's okay. I will always go in with either the, I wish I had the name for you because it's gone, but it's like the Flawless Filter, I believe. And it looks like this when you open it. I will put that all over my face. And it's not a foundation. I don't use foundation. If I did, I would be putting on foundation first. But this one's more like a stick. I'll either take a brush and put it on, or I'll just all over my skin. So these are my two bases that I go for. That always, always, always make my skin look really good with makeup. So we don't like dry around here. We like the dewy look. And yes, I'm oily, but if you use the right powders, you'll be good. I have two concealers that I have been alternating. And surprisingly, this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer, which I will use when I'm tanner because clearly they are both different colors. But when I'm like this color without my spray tan, I'll use the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. Or this one if I'm feeling like I need some color. And then for contour, I always use the Charlotte Tilbury contour stick. I also use the Merit contour stick. This one is super glowy, I will say. This one is heavier and it creates more of a tinted look, like darker contour. Maybe it's the color I'm using, honestly. What color is this? Medium. I use medium. But the Merit stick I have in Leo, and this one, like I want to show you, like more of a sheer contour. So when you blend it, it's still bronzy, but it's not like your full skin is the contour tone. Like with this one's a little bit more unforgiving, I will say. This is a little bit more forgiving. So those two work really well with those bases as well. When it comes to blush, cream blush, I go for, obviously, I'm like Charlotte Tilbury girl, I go for these. So this one is Peachgasm Blush by Charlotte Tilbury. This one is the Pinkgasm Sunset. So this is more of a reddish tone to it. This is more of a peach. Honestly, this is close to a highlighter shade I'd use. Those are my two cream blushes. Although, I will say though, this, what is this? The Plumping Blush Veil by Mario, Makeup by Mario. This is my favorite right now. I'll even use this with the other ones because this is like an orange. I'll put like a picture somewhere over here of what it looks like, but I don't think it has an actual plumping effect. It might. I don't feel any tingles by it, but like this shit is good. I'm telling you, I like this one. But I did just get a new blush today, so let me open her on camera for you. So this is the Pinky Glow blush, and it's like a blush stick. I was super excited. I wanted to try this. I went in like to Sephora the other day and I was testing blushes and I was like, I need a pink. I have a Haus Labs powder blush, is in Dragon Fruit Days. And let me tell you, she's stunning. She's stunning, honey. So I wanted a matching cream blush, which is this one that I just got. So that way I can do a look with it. But this is what she looks like. And I will swatch. She's bright. She's very bright. But as you blend, it kind of simmers down a little. And I'm excited to pair these two together, the Haus Labs and the Charlotte Tilbury. And again, I try to always aim for like the same brand for whatever I'm using, because when you start mixing brands, that's when you can run into like errors with how things are blending together. Like, find your favorite base of concealer and foundation, stick to that, and then if you're using other cream products, stick to that same brand as best you can. If you have another one that you know works really well, then that's fine. You can use it like I did with the Mario blush. It works perfectly. But if you're running into issues, that could be why. yeah, I am a Charlotte Tilbury girl, hands down. Sponsor me. And as a makeup artist, I'm rebuilding my kit right now. I just got a new job in makeup and I'm going to be rebuilding my kit. I will be purchasing all Charlotte Tilbury makeup products to use on my clients. So that will be fun. And yeah, so that's kind of the cream part of everything. Now I'll get into how I set, which unfortunately I just lost my favorite setting powder. So I don't know what I did with it. I'll give one last look. Yeah, I get a little chaotic sometimes when I'm doing my makeup, so I've lost her. It might be in a purse somewhere because I sometimes take out my powder with me throughout the night since I'm oily. But it's the Hourglass Vanish powder. It's in a gold container. I'll put it here. But that is my favorite setting powder. I will go over everything, my eyes with a little puff, and I'll go over my contour, everything. You can use translucent. That's my favorite one. You can bake with it if you want to. It's not as heavy as like one of the Huda Beauty ones, which I also use. I do like these as well. Cherry Blossom Cake. This is like a pinky one that I like. The Givenchy Prism. I'm trying to see what color. This is the rose one. So there's 4 colors. This one though, I have learned, this one has a shimmer to it. So I don't recommend really using this all over your face to set. I like it under my eyes, but it does have a little bit of a shimmer to it when you're in a flash. So just a warning for that. The other one I like is the Pound Cake. I have a minier one of the Pound Cake. I tend to grab these. And my Hourglass powder, which is somewhere in the dark hole of my personal makeup kit or one of my purses somewhere. And I also I'll use a puff like this to just set it. And so after I'm done with the powder, that's when I get into the other powders, obviously. And I know some makeup artists say you can use the cream on top of the powder. I haven't tried that, so I don't really know how accurate that is. I know Patrick Ta likes to do it. I don't do that because I don't know, I have oily skin, so I just try to stick with what I know. So after I'm done setting, that's when I'll go in with my powder contour, powder blush, whatever. Sometimes I do my eyes before all of this, and then sometimes I do my eyes after, depending on the look. If I'm doing more of like a cat eye, like a type of eye, I'll do that first, and then I'll cut it with my concealer and all of that. But yeah, that tends to be my strategy. And then obviously at the end I'll do my eyes because you don't want to get powder on top of your mascara and all of that. So I wait to do my mascara till the end. Brows I usually do first. So when I am finishing up my makeup, I'll do a setting spray. This one, the One Size Powder Melt. But then I've also been loving my casual, my usual Charlotte Tilbury. I just bought a new one. So these two are my ride or dies for finishing up my makeup. Once my face is set, my powders are melted and there's still a little bit of like just a glow to me, I'll take my Dior Backstage Glow palette, and I tend to lean towards this shade right here. But I'll use that and I'll put that on top of the dewy setting spray because it adds like a pop of highlight. If I feel like I need a little bit extra, if I'm feeling I want to go highlighter blind tonight, I will take the Rare Beauty highlighter. This is literally going to make you pop. I'm not joking. Hold on. First of all, yeah, you can kind of tell, like, she's glowing. This is the Dior. They're both very glowy in their own way, but this one creates more of like an opaque glimmer. This one is more sheer. I will do the Dior first, and then on top of it, I will just on the spot, like right here that's glowing, I will put just a little dab of the Rare Beauty highlighter. Kiss to the gods. But that's really what I do for a perfect base makeup. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. That's honestly a question I get asked a lot in public of what makeup do you use? Your skin looks amazing, blah, 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 blah. It's all in the prep, and then it's all in how you're layering your products and choosing strategically which products you're mixing together. So I did just get a new job as a luxury beauty advisor, so I will be posting more makeup content, fragrance content, because I'm also going to be selling fragrances and skincare. So I will be posting all of those things for you guys. And yeah, bye.